Every single day, Rangers seem to edge closer to a whole new chapter in their history. A chapter that could be written with the ink of ambition, structure, and a long-term plan. And at the heart of this potential transformation is the growing presence of 49ers enterprises. The American investment group is closing in on a takeover that could mark a turning point at Ibrox, a line in the sand separating the frustrations of recent years from what fans hope will be a more successful and sustainable future. But let's start with something that might impact Rangers' European future much sooner than any boardroom change. While Rangers may be out of this season's UEFA Europa League following that painful elimination at the hands of Athletic Bilbao, they still have a chance, albeit an indirect one, to secure a slightly smoother path into next season's champions league. And yes, ironically, that chance could come from the very team that just sent them packing. Athletic Bilbao are still alive in the Europa League, and if they manage to win the tournament, and they're one of the few remaining clubs with a serious shot, then Rangers could benefit massively. How it all comes down to UEFA's qualification structure. If Bilbao win the Europa League and also secure a place in the next Champions League through their La Liga position, it creates a knock-on effect that pushes other teams higher up the qualifying ladder. And Rangers, thanks to their coefficient, could be among the main beneficiaries. Currently, Rangers are due to enter the Champions League qualifiers through the league pass starting in the second round. That means they're likely to face tricky opposition. Teams like Servette Bran or Austria Vienna, all capable of making life very difficult in a two-legged tie. But if Bilbao win the Europa League and finish inside the top 4 in La Liga, and right now they're in 4th, 5 points clear of Villarreal and 9 ahead of Real Betis, then Rangers could be bumped up to the Champions path instead. That change would be massive. It means entering a round later, avoiding some of the tougher opposition, and most importantly, it would make the route to the group stage far more manageable. Make no mistake, group stage football in the Champions League isn't just about the prestige. It's about revenue, it's about attracting players, and it's about showing fans that the club is heading in the right direction. If Rangers were to fall short in the league path, they'd be knocked into the Europa League playoff. Fail there, and they'd end up in the Conference League. So every edge counts, and Athletic Bilbao, strangely enough, could hold the key. Meanwhile, off the pitch, the winds of change are gathering strength. Rangers look set to finish the season without a trophy, knocked out of the Europa League, sitting 15 points behind Celtic in the Premiership. It's been a tough campaign, no doubt. But there's a growing feeling among supporters and insiders that something better is coming. That feeling is being fueled by the increasing involvement of 49ers enterprises. And if their record with Leeds United is anything to go by, Rangers fans have every reason to be cautiously optimistic. The 49ers helped reshape Leeds, not just with money, but with structure. At Ellen Road, they didn't just throw cash at the squad and hope for the best. They invested wisely, identified key areas for improvement, and brought a modern data-driven approach to recruitment infrastructure and commercial development. Former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson, who knows both English and Scottish football well, praised the group for exactly that. He said Rangers couldn't ask for a better investor, pointing to the Red Bull partnership at Leeds as a sign of their ambition and their ability to attract serious commercial backing. And here's the thing, this isn't just buzz. Reports suggest that the 49ers have already earmarked a transfer budget of £25 million for the incoming Rangers manager. That's not pocket change. That's a statement. It means that the next man in charge, likely to be announced after Barry Ferguson's interim spell ends, will have the resources to reshape the squad over the summer. And that reshaping is not about gutting the team and starting over. It's about identifying where the team needs more quality holding onto the core talents and bringing in players who can elevate the side without blowing the budget. Names like Jaime Ginn and Nico Raskin are already attracting attention in the transfer market. But the plan, it seems, is to keep the key players built around them and add the kind of reinforcements that can genuinely challenge Celtic's domestic dominance and make some noise in Europe too. Robinson put it best. This isn't just about spending money, it's about spending it wisely. Financial sustainability is the name of the game. And if the 49ers stick to their blueprint, Rangers could be in for a renaissance, not a short-lived spike. And there's something else worth mentioning here. The 49ers model doesn't just focus on the first team. At Leeds, they invested in facilities, in youth development, and building a club that could sustain success instead of constantly chasing it. That's the kind of long-term thinking that Rangers desperately need. Because while the first team might be the tip of the spear, the strength of the whole club, from the academy to the commercial arm, matters just as much in today's game. Back to the pitch though, even with the sting of defeat fresh in there. There's still pride in what the team managed to achieve this season in Europe. Nico Raskin, one of the most consistent performers under Barry Ferguson, made his feelings known after the elimination in the Basque Country. He posted photos from Bilbao and a heartfelt message saying he was proud of the group, and that even though they fell short of their dream, they gave it their all. That kind of mentality is exactly what supporters want to see. Fight unity and a refusal to give in. Raskin also took time to thank the fans, calling their support incredible and vital throughout the journey, and clearly his performances haven't gone unnoticed. He, alongside John Sauter, has been named in the PFA Scotland Premiership Team of the Year, voted for by fellow professionals across the league. That kind of recognition shows that despite the lack of silverware, there's been progress, there's been quality. And with the right pieces around them, players like Raskin could form the backbone of a team capable of going much further. Last note before we wrap this part up. Things got a bit out of hand in Spain after the second leg against Athletic Bilbao. Reports came in about clashes between supporters and police, with several arrests and injuries, including to officers. Athletics manager Ernesto Valverde was furious. He slammed the actions of the ultra section of the club's own fans, saying it had nothing to do with football and everything to do with people looking for trouble or filming chaos for their own interests. It's not the image Bilbao or Rangers wanted associated with such a big night, and it casts a bit of a shadow over what was otherwise a competitive and hard-fought European tie. But looking ahead, all eyes are now on that Europa League final. Not just for Bilbao's sake, but for Rangers too. Because a win for the Spaniards could make Rangers' path to the Champions League that little bit easier. And if the 49ers takeover continues to gather pace in the background, we might be looking at the final days of the old Rangers and the dawn of something very different. If there's one thing Rangers fans know better than most, it's how quickly hope can turn. One minute you're dreaming of trophies, the next you're picking through the wreckage of another missed opportunity. But this time feels different. Maybe it's the shift in tone from the board. Maybe it's the sense that serious backing is on the way. Or maybe it's just that after years of watching Celtic pull further ahead, the entire Rangers support knows it's now or never. The pieces are there. The pressure is real. And the summer ahead could define not just a season, but a generation. The upcoming transfer window will be the first true test of intent for whoever takes over in the dugout. Barry Ferguson's stint as interim boss may or may not lead to a permanent role. He said the right things brought back a bit of fight, but whether that's enough for a full-time appointment remains to be seen. What's clear is that the new manager will walk into a situation filled with both opportunity and risk. A sizable budget will be waiting courtesy of the 49ers backing. But with that money comes expectation. The fans won't accept more of the same. No more passive play, no more predictable collapses when the pressure's on. One of the key questions is how the squad will be rebuilt. Rangers aren't starting from scratch, but there's no denying that key areas need a refresh. The backline has shown flashes of solidity, with Sotar and Yilmaz offering something to work with. In midfield, Raskin's energy and vision have been invaluable, but he can't do it all himself. Up front, there's still no consistent, ruthless number 9. Cyril Desires has had moments, but they've been too few and far between. Rangers need a striker who lives for goals, who thrives on pressure, and who doesn't shrink when the stakes are at their highest. Recruitment will have to be sharp precise. The 49ers aren't coming in to throw wild money at washed-up names or take blind punts on potential. Their model is built on data scouting networks and identifying value where others might miss it. Think of the way Brighton or Brentford worked down south. Low-key signings who turn out to be stars because the club knew exactly what they were looking for. That's the kind of approach Rangers must take now. Because every signing matters, especially when the margin for error is so thin. There's also the question of leadership within the squad. James Tavernier has carried the armband through good and bad, and while his stats from right back remain impressive, some supporters wonder if the team needs a different type of leader moving forward. Someone vocal, aggressive, demanding, maybe from midfield, maybe from the backline. A player who sets the tone not just in words, but in action. The kind of character who refuses to accept second best and drags others with him when things get tough. The pressure from Celtic's dominance won't go away, and Rangers can't afford another season playing catch-up from September onwards. The gap this season has been humiliating at times. 15 points behind, not even in the same conversation come spring. That kind of failure demands a response not just in words, but in results. The new manager will be expected to challenge immediately. There's no grace period, no honeymoon. With the kind of financial and strategic backing that's being promised, the club has to deliver. A strong start in the league, a run to the Champions League group stage, a trophy by the end of the season. That's the bar now, and anything less will be viewed as another step backward. But this isn't just about chasing Celtic. Rangers have ambitions that stretch beyond Scottish football. The club wants to be relevant in Europe again, not just a name from the past, but a presence that can make life difficult for top-tier clubs. That means competing in the Europa League knockouts every season, at the very least. It means aiming for Champions League group stages, not as a dream, but as a standard. And it means building a squad and a structure that can survive more than just a good season. It needs to survive transitions, injuries, and setbacks without falling apart. This summer, then, is the beginning of what could be the most important rebuild in over a decade. It's not about ripping everything down, it's about building something that lasts. About players who want to wear the badge for more than just a payday. About making Ibrox a fortress again. About bringing the kind of energy and aggression to matches that makes opponents dread coming to Glasgow. The fans are ready. They've stuck with this team through the highs and lows. They were there when the club was climbing out of the lower leagues. They were there in Seville chasing a European dream. And they've been there this season through heartbreak and frustration. What they want now is simple. Belief, direction, and a reason to hope again. Whether it's Barry Ferguson or someone else on the touchline, whether the 49ers take full control or just deepen their influence, one thing's certain, the next chapter is about to begin. And it won't be written in whispers or cautious optimism. It'll be written in bold decisions, brave football, and a kind of ambition that Rangers have too often lacked in recent years. It's a long road ahead, but for the first time in a while, there's a real sense that the club is ready to walk it. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Scottish football has been rocked by a stunning revelation from RAE, one of the most respected voices in sports commentary. Speaking publicly for the first time about a controversial match involving Rangers, RAE dropped a bombshell that has sent shockwaves across the country. There was a direct order for Rangers not to win their last game. The announcement has sparked outrage and disbelief among fans and pundits alike, raising serious questions about the integrity of the competition and the forces operating behind the scenes. While RAE did not disclose the origin of the alleged order, his tone and the gravity of his words have left little room for doubt. It wasn't just a bad day on the pitch, he said. There were things happening that should never be part of football. Me say the game in question had already stirred suspicions due to several odd occurrences, from questionable refereeing decisions to the Rangers' uncharacteristically disjointed performance. Now, RAE's statement adds fuel to the fire, suggesting that the result was influenced by something far beyond tactics or form. Rangers supporters are demanding answers. For a club steeped in history and passion, the mere suggestion of external manipulation is nothing short of scandalous. We deserve transparency, said one fan outside Ibrox. If someone stopped our team from playing to win, we want to know who and why. Scottish football authorities have yet to comment officially and raise claims, but pressure is mounting. With the league's credibility hanging in the balance, there are growing calls for a full investigation into the circumstances surrounding the match. For now, one thing is clear. This revelation has opened a dark chapter in the game's narrative, and it won't be closed quietly. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comment section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.